Hello everyone and welcome to your weekly tarot guidance for January the 30th, February the 5th, 2023. Now we do have a very interesting week ahead of us astrologically speaking because a lot of different types of energies are active at the same time. Many of them do promote work, effort, intention for us to invest any kind of energy into something that we would like to accomplish or to work with a situation that we have. But on the other hand, there are unexpected surprises, friend and everything that has to do with circle of friends, social connections, friends basically, and acquaintances. That's gonna be quite busy, I expect, but a very active Uranus, and at the very end of the week, Sunday, shocking full moon in Leo, so it will definitely awaken us to a much more, let's say, assertive emotional state that is gonna be a game changer. So let's just ask for advice for that. And because this is, as I said, a week full of surprises and game changers, I decided to use this deck. I don't know if you can see. It's called the Wild Unknown Tarot. So, exactly, the Uranian energies with Leo. Leo is pretty wild. If he wants to be. Well, these cards are pretty, how should I say, active. This is pretty interesting. Just give me a few moments because I did not expect. Maybe this is why many readers, don't do the shuffling and this part live, because sometimes it really catches you by surprise. Well, it doesn't matter how much I investigate further, because this is still a pretty intense combination. Well, this kind of tells us, the Hermit, Ace of Swords, Queen of Wands. So, and, this is the Daughter of Cups, which would be the Page of Cups reversed. This just basically tells us that surprises are definitely to be expected this week. Like the Ace of Swords is usually communication news, turnaround of events, breakthrough, or great urgency, which usually requires decision choice. Now the Hermit. I do believe that in this situation, in this case, the Hermit doesn't necessarily speak about the melancholy, the solitude, the isolation, all of that, but rather it speaks that it is something highly personal, something that you have to do for yourself, something that depends only on you, or perhaps, the Virgo expression of the Hermit, a service, a duty, an act, perhaps, which only you can provide, do for yourself. So the Hermit usually represents that regardless of who and what you have in your life, it's still something that will ultimately really depend on you. And not just you in a rather objective sense, but also subjective sense, because the Hermit represents, among so very many things, of course, the inner truth, the inner light, one's inner understanding of everything. Now, let me give you an example how this is much more relevant and important than we would imagine. let's say that in this case, the hermit is something that has to do with your job and your career. Now, many times the job and career are hand in hand. One integrates the other, one is reflective of another. But let's just say that there is a person for who it isn't. The job is just something that fuels the sole purpose, if you know what I mean. So the job is not necessarily reflective of it, but it is a tool for it. Then there comes, the expression of the hermit, the inner truth, how you see things, the subjectivity of all, the light of just your own truth, which means that maybe there comes a time when you say, well, this job, this whatever I'm doing for my livelihood, the service, is no longer supportive of my soul path, so Ace of Swords. I'm open to changes, to rearrangements, to actually do something much more important for my soul path. So you can imagine, then there comes the rest of the cards. The 3 of coins and the 10 of cups. This is so important because this means work completed, basically. Now, this means that something in your life, may it be work, may it be career, may it be a situation, whatever this hermit means to you, it's complete. As in, truly the cycle is complete already. It was ripe. You harvested whatever there was to harvest, emotionally, karmically, and now with this world reversed, 10 of swords and 6 of wands reversed, this is clear. You have to move on. This is where whatever was ripe and complete in your life, the service or being solo or whatever the hermit represents for you, well, that is complete. That is already outgrown its usefulness. So life might require from you, even maybe this week, to simply let it go. 10 of swords, to move on, to draw the conclusion, and even mentally accept that you're no longer in the situation of the hermit. As in, your lamp is burning, your inner fire, but what else can it reveal to you? It cannot reveal to you anything more unless you move on and the inner and outer dynamics change. And then, of course, the inner light will reveal a different scenery because everything will be different. And the Ace of Swords, this is where decision time, choice time, communication, breakthrough, something happens. Work completed. But we might not experience, as I said, this world reversed and 10 of swords with the 6 of swords immediately as something all that pleasant. Maybe we will experience this as, okay, work complete, cycle complete, but there's a void. This is where the 6 of cups and the sun reversed. You might feel that a part of you is actually has died. A part of your life, part of your ego, part of your destiny, part of your soul with this completion. So in a way, it's really bittersweet. What for some people this can be a relationship, as I said, a job, a routine, a part of life, part of self. But for others it's the opposite, solo life, single life, a service, and something comes to take its place. The strength. Leo, exactly, the full moon in Leo. The 7 of Pentacles reversed. The time of scarcity, blockages, basically is over because you have everything that you need to break through. And the death reverse, regeneration, rebirth. So this is quite, I would look at this in a rather positive way. Whatever surprise wrecking ball that Uranus conjures up in our lives, maybe this week will be even quite relevant and important because it does change something. It does bring a change. But it's rather difficult, I do imagine, exactly for the lower ego. And this jumped out, the Tower. Something is truly changing. And the world reverse can also represent that collectively something big happens. Son of Cups, we will be shocked emotionally. So the world reverse sometimes can mean that the shock, the surprise comes from collective. Sometimes, ironically, it can mean your dream is accomplished, but the world is no longer suitable for your dream to be all that epic for. It's epic for you, but in an unsuitable environment, there is only so much that can happen. An emotional surprise because the Ace of Cups appeared. Six of Swords. Hope, moving on. You have to move. Something comes in your life. Father of Cups, Seven of Cups, which will determine you to move on. And this might be, it doesn't matter, basically. Four of Swords, yes. This will break the stagnation. This will break the forced peace, if that even makes sense. Because there is one thing when we have genuine peace in our beings, and it's another when we have peace in our lives, but one that we are heavily enforcing. Which is it peace? If we have to guard, and it's not even have to, we want to. We guard it like a pit bull, an angry pit bull would guard, its fence or its territory. If we guard our peace like a pit bull, well, how much is it of peace, if you know what I mean? Because genuine peace is when it doesn't matter what we have in our lives, even total chaos, but we feel at peace and at ease with. That's what we aspire to have, really. So for some people, I do believe this constructive peace, which it is in a way genuine because it does the job. But is it genuine when everything stirs you up? Would that threaten your peace? Yeah, the World and the Judgment. 22-21. So something really completes this week. Something comes. And I just want to ask, because this energy is individual and collective as well, what might be the more likely collective expression of this? Because somehow I feel that collectively there is something ongoing as well. Ace of Coins, 10 of Wands, 9 of Cups, Father of either financial, economic, either an earth event which shakes things up, maybe something buries people, I don't know, burying something, like a landslide, I don't know, but this is also financial burden, a big, big, big financial burden. With this 9 of Cups and the Father of Pentacles, there has to also be a solution that comes. So it's so and so. A big burden forces a solution to be created. And let's see likely individually what that means. Death, strength reversed, father of wands, yeah, a rebirth. A change that you ultimately need to live through, basically. But it's intense. I think it's gonna be very intense. Now, let's see if we can get any additional guidance from these non-tarot cards. Yeah. I'll show you the cards in a moment. So, maybe this is where you need to make a choice. But for your own justice, for your own equity. This is where, a hope has to fulfill itself. But you can imagine that the fulfillment of the hope is not as ideal as the hope itself, and it will need you to make a very long-term, possibly tough decision. This is also so very relevant. Fight or flight. So I don't think there is any way out of this. A very powerful decision that will impact maybe the remaining of the year, or you're just preparing to make that decision. It's already decided. It's just a matter of when you make that step, the move, because you're getting rid of something that's weighing you. Exactly the closing of a cycle. Both of these are in free fall, basically. But the thing is, nothing bad happens to them. But in order for this situation to be overcome, the decision has to, for example, this warrior to face the mountain goat. And it, of course, is the warrior that is pushed off the cliff. But the warrior, no one says it's the end of the road for the warrior, because he had to climb this mountain to reach the mountain goat. And maybe the mountain goat wanting to defeat the mountain goat was the illusion. This is more positive than negative. It's only negative if the warrior clings on to the illusion. And this is where it's very, very self-explanatory. Freedom. By all costs. Something new definitely comes in your life because something has truly outlived its purpose. You will no longer allow, and this is collectively as well, to have power over you. So for a lot of people individually, I do imagine this will mean either making that big move, abandoning illusion, abandoning something that will not work, or either a marriage, either a friendship that will never turn into romance, either something that has, as I said, been weighing you down, and that can also be emotional, spiritual, a misaligned belief. So but you're choosing justice for yourself. Again, hints of freedom, following your heart, a leap of faith. Again, choosing to elevate up your game. This dream or illusion dies, but another one takes its place, but the other one is philosophy. So it's not something that weighs you down, but the opposite. Maybe this is something artistic, philosophical, spiritual, a new way of living or looking at the world or whatever, because this elevates you. This ensures your freedom, even in thought. And for some people, either this is the shell you've been waiting for, praying for, wanting, needing, finally it comes in your life. What is the shell? A relationship, a home, a situation, comfort, self-care, healing that works like a charm, and it finally, it's there. You have what you need. Or for other people, it's the opposite. Finally getting out of the shell and showing your worth. Either way, as uncomfortable as this is, always look at the other side, what it does, the good, and look at how many times Uranus and Neptune are in this reading. Uranus, 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 then there's Neptune, 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 and twice Saturn. Yeah. And finally, let's get some, oracle advice. So what is the guidance for us for this week? Yeah, I think the oracle cards are just as wired on the Uranian energy as the others. Leap of faith. Now that's all either Leo or Uranus, so it's so hand in hand with the energy. Trust your own understanding. The inner genius, the Uranus. Exactly, your own understanding. The illusion dies. Some form of greater heighten your vitality. So this means whatever it is that you do, it will bring a moment of adrenaline in your life. But that means living life, laughter, and be in service. For some people, this is definitely a job or career change, or a massive makeover of their modus operandi. And laughter, this is where finally the lightheartedness can take over your life, but it can't without that leap of faith. And you see the spider web, the essence of the spider web, leap of faith, but in the same time, the spider web is there to catch you. But if it catches you, you'll be stuck for some time. So it's not really risk-free, but it is, like the ultimate risk-free. So this concludes today's guidance. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all the love, all the support, all the kindness and generosity. And I'm wishing everyone a really magical and brave full moon in Leo. Thank you so much again. Until next time, bye for now.